me see if I can get the camera looking right. There we go. Alright, well, yeah, there's a computer screen in the way, so never mind that. Okay, so everybody, before I begin my review of James Haley Chase's You Gave Yourself a Deal, I just want to say that, I had a few attempts before this one to review this. The first attempt, I just tried to ad-lib it, and it went on for 50 minutes. Second attempt, I tried to write down some bullet points in this notebook right here, and it went on for more than 15 minutes, strangely enough. So I decided to just write what I thought and read from it, right, from the notebook, read from it, and hope for the best. Basically, I don't have the book with me because I had to give it back to my taxi driver, who was letting me borrow it until I finished reading it. I guess he wants to give it show it to someone else. Either way, that's the way it is. But I do have an outline in here of what things that basically happened, important things. I don't have every single detail, but it's good enough to know. This definitely should be good enough for you to know if you want to read it or not. Well, let's get started. Hello and welcome to my attempt to imitate Lee Cara. My attempt to imitate Lee Cara from atop the fourth wall with this book, You Have Yourself a Deal by James Haley Chase. And unlike Joey Pizza, this really isn't a children's book. There's the market is one. Anyway, there are many things that aren't kid-friendly in here. Yeah, that aren't for, But according to one of the commentators on my Joey Pizza rant review, any book that a 9-year-old can get their hands on and read counts as a children's book. So read if you want to, boys and girls. But remember, if you read something in there that makes you say, "Oh my eyes, I didn't want to see that," I tried to warn you. Now, on to the review. James Haley Chase's book. Well, James Haley Chase books can be really great spy thrillers. Books like Hit 'Em Where It Hurts and No Work as Hard as Blandish are bursting with excitement as you read about how the good guys and the bad guys jockey for position as they race toward the finish. Heck, No Orchis for Miss Blandish was so good it got turned into a movie. It's called The Grissom Gang. Debate on whether it's as good as the book is for another time. Although from what I saw, it's not looking good. Anyway, the problem is with this book is that there's too much going on. Instead of two sides duking out, there's three. The CIA, who are our good guys, the Russians, who are our main bad guys, and the Chinese, who are our minor bad guys. I say they're minor because they always seem to be one step behind. Now I can understand why all these countries are involved in this story. The girl thereafter has valuable information. But the way they did things was not as good as it could have been. The lack of focus is apparent right off the bat. The good guys do something, the good guys do something, and the main bad guys do something. Then the minor bad guys do something, and it keeps going on like that throughout most of the book, except for one part of the book, which is my favorite, by the way. Remember that. Now, our story begins just after the Vietnam War, and although there's much talk about it in the story, it is an important thing to note. And in true Haley Chase fashion, we aren't introduced to our hero until a quarter of the way through the book. But we do meet someone who could have worked just fine. His name is O'Halloran, a good-sized Irishman with a sun-tanned face and irresistible charm. He flirts with the cute secretary, and she flirts back, and then he goes to talk to his boss, who is also the head of that branch of CIA. His name is Dowery or something, but he reminds me of Gary Oldman's commissioner from Christopher Gordon from the Nolan Batman movies. So I'm just going to call him that, the commissioner from now on. Anyway, O'Halloran tells the commissioner the main plot of the story. A young white woman was found unconscious on the street and was taken to a hospital where they found out she has amnesia, so she can't tell us who she is. But she also has a tattoo on her body of Chinese lettering. The commissioner's Chinese contact confirms that it is the name of one of China's top weapons specialists, Kung, a man who likes to put his name on everything he owns. Needless to say, if she was one of the things he owned, she could know some things about him that no one else does. So the commissioner, in his infinite wisdom, tells O'Halloran to go get this other guy, because he's the best man for the job. And that's basically it for O'Halloran in this story. He does appear a few more times, but it doesn't really do much. And now we get to meet our real hero. His name is Gerland, but I'll just be calling him our hero for the most part. He's an average-sized man who I imagine looks like AJ from Fairly Odd Parents with no eyes, because that's just awesome to me. He was a good CIA agent, but something happened that made him quit, and now he lives in a crappy apartment while trying to make a living as a freelance photographer, mostly because he can use it as a pickup line to convince young women to stay through the night with him. Unfortunately, he's not having the best of luck with that right now. Now, my handwriting is a bit weird, so it's a bit weird at this point, because I guess I was trying to do it really quickly. It's crazy stuff. Okay. Shocking, I know. That's the best look right now. Shocking, I know. Anyway, he's roused out of his stupor by a knock on the door. He opens it, and two very large guys force their way in. What time is it? Okay. They're two of O'Halloran's men, and they tell him that the boss of the CIA wants our hero to come into the office right now. Our hero notes that they aren't just big bruisers. They're also armed and dangerous, so he has no choice but to go. He whips out his raincoat, because he likes to rain a lot in James Haley Chase books, and locks up his apartment, because he's probably not going to see back to it for a long time. And then, he's escorted down to the hall, with one guy in front and the other guy behind. When they get to the stairs leading down, our hero says he has to tie his shoes. So he kneels down in front of goon number one, and then quick as a flash, rises up and causes the gut and the guy to fall down the stairs. He then whirls around to face goon number two, who's in the middle of taking a swing at our hero's head. He ducks under the punch and smashes his fist into goon two's gut, causing him to fall to his knees. And then he walks down to where the CIA building is, flirts with the secretary, and goes into the commissioner's office, asking what the heck is going on. Now, as you can see, our hero can more than handle himself. A fact that will pay off later, but unlike many other things in this book, it won't be as good as it could have been. Anyway, after our hero asks the commissioner why he wanted him to come back after he told him to drop dead, our boss tells him about the girl, shows him a photo of her that reminds me of Veronica from her appearance, with her hair down, and then shows him a picture of the terror tattoo, and explains why it's important. Our hero then asks how he can possibly help the situation, and the commissioner tells him he's going to pretend to be her husband. Our womanizing hero is naturally pleased with this turn of events, and then is even more pleased to learn that he'll be given the keys to the commissioner's vacation home. So he'll have a cozy place to live while he tries to get the information out of her in whatever way he can. Our hero gratefully accepts the mission and then starts haggling for money. Boss, if I'm going to be her rich husband, I've got to have at least 10,000 francs so I can buy her clothes and stuff. The boss says he's getting 2,000 francs, and he's lucky to get that. Oh yeah, we're in France. Not that it has anything to do with anything other than the money, of course. Also, this may be a strange thing to talk about, but our hero is also desperate for money. In fact, that will help make things super annoying later. And so, with his money, awesomely forged paperwork, and homing device pill in hand, our hero makes his way to the hospital where the girl is staying. And now we go to the main villain of the story, the Russians. One of James Haley Chase's strengths is making even minor characters have some depth to them. And now we have one such case. Our main Russian bad guy, whose name is Malik, is walking around the downtown area, looking into the shop windows and longing to buy the things he sees in them. He is also longing to go after the cute girl who just passed by and sweep her off her feet in a way only a Russian man can. Man, that line was awesome. Unfortunately, he decides against it because he has a duty to his country as a secret agent. And are watching. The superiors are watching. So he makes his way back to his car apartment and gets his orders to go and get the girl. And now we move on to our third faction of the characters in this book, the Chinese. Thankfully, they aren't racist stereotypes. But what you get still isn't that good. Our main Chinese bad guy is a young man named Sadhu. He hates America because his dad, who may have been an American soldier, had a little fling with his mom and probably left her once he found out she was pregnant with him. I can understand that. But then we read about his girlfriend slash boss, Pearl. She hates America because they bombed her village in the Vietnam War and that killed her family. So now we have our main Chinese bad guy constantly thinking he's in over his head because he's nowhere near as committed to the messing up America as his girlfriend slash boss is. And then we meet our third Chinese bad guy. He's a professional assassin, but he has the worst name ever. Jojo. No matter what you look like, you can't be imitating if your name is Jojo. Okay, maybe you can, if you're scary enough. So what does our guy Jojo look like? Well, they do use the words small and weasel-like to help describe him, so no, he's not intimidating at all. Anyway, they get their orders to go and kill the girl before anyone else can get to her. And so now we have our first meeting of all three main characters. All the main characters, ladies and gentlemen. Well, sort of. All our main character agents will be at the hospital to get the girl. But right away, you see how lopsided the conflict will be. The Russians are well prepared. They have got U.S. Army uniforms. Good. U.S. Army uniforms, a doctor's outfit, a vial of sedative, a gurney, and even an ambulance to drive around in, as well as the normal small firearms they'll need just in case things went wrong. Okay, things go wrong. And you guys already know about our heroes layout, so I won't be repeating it until it actually comes into play. But I will say it will definitely come in handy. Now, let's look at our Chinese agent's loadout. Sadao owns a combat car, and Jojo has a knife. And that's it. Yeah, it's not looking good for them. And now it's time for play. The Russians get there first and are already in their army uniforms. They park the ambulance in a spot that doesn't draw any suspicion. Malik or Smirnoff, Malik or Smirnoff, who both look like Hulk J. Leno's to me, is very impressive in his colonel outfit as he walks into the front door with Smirnoff, which is kind of like, yeah, okay, we have this one cool guy with some backstory, and now we have this other guy. They work together. I'm like, I like Malik better because I at least saw a little bit more, learned a little bit more about him than others. But anyway. So yeah, they both look similar. So in my opinion, like a different copy of Malik. That's what I say. Where? Oh yeah. Like the to me is very Colonel fit as he walks the front door. Now the Russians not only have the best loadout, they also have the best info. They have the best info too. They know that the commissioner is a soldier standing guard outside of the girl's room. The narration said he thought that would be enough, but with these guys, there's never enough. So I thought he was going to Hulk smash the guy, but he didn't. What he did instead was even better. Now, we got spoilers. Maybe lots of spoilers. The play-by-play of the main things in the book. Spoiler every spoilers. Continue. The Russians also knew that U.S. general was on the same floor as the girl, and that was their way in. Our hulking Russian bad guy walks up to the soldier, standing guard, and puts his plan into action. He asks the guy where the general is, and he nervously tells him that he's down the hall. The soldier is nervous because the book tells us that, though dedicated, he starts sweating bullets when dealing with people of higher rank. So our colonel starts walking toward the general, but then says, "Dang it all, soldier! I forgot to bring up the file I wanted to talk to the general about. Could you go and get it for me? Go to my jeep and get it for me." "But sir, I was ordered to guard this girl. Like, don't you see me standing here?" I'm like, yes, sir." "Oh, wait, where's your jeep?" I'm like, "Go out the front door and to the left. You can't miss it. Also, there's 2 guys in there, and they'll help you find what you need." They didn't say, this is basically what the basic stuff of what he said. Tell him to go out to the jeep, give him directions, stuff like that. Let's go. And they'll help you find what you need. And yes, sir. So off the shoulder went down the elevator and out the front door to the left to the jeep with 2 guys in it. Guys in soldier uniforms in it. He asked them for the file the corporal needs, and or the colonel, whatever his name is, needs, and the guy sitting closest to him turns away like he's reaching for something. Our soldier leans in, hoping to get the file, but all he gets is a savage hook punch to his jaw, knocking him out instantly. Our 2 soldiers then get out of the jeep, tie up the real soldier, and hide him somewhere where he won't cause trouble. They then prepare to bring up the gurney so that they can get to your hut with no trouble. Good. Meanwhile, our hero arrives and prepares to smooth talk his way past the front desk. He saw the Russian's ambulance out. It was parked in a hospital, so he didn't see straight at all. He's successful in convincing the front desk people to let him pass, partially because of his expertly forced paperwork, and partially because of his charm. But a cute young nurse who looks like Tootie from Her Odd Parents, Jimmy, decides to tag along, continuing to insist that the girl should not have visitors in. The way these 2 characters will eventually play off each other lead to some of my favorite scenes in the whole entire book. Remember that. Now, while our hero and the nurse, whose name is Jenny with a G, make their way up to the girl's room, Malik has already put on his doctor's lab coat and prepared a sedative. He walks into the girl's room just as she's starting to wake up. She asks who he is, and he says, "Oh, it's just your injection. You need plenty of sleep." The girl, whose name is Erica Olsen, by the way, allows him to stick her in the arm with the syringe with the sedative in it. After he does this, our hero and Nurse Jenny walk in. At first, they think he's a doctor, but then our hero sees that he's wearing army pants underneath his lab coat. He gasps and is about to rush on me and villain, but it's too late. He has to start using because now he's sitting on the barrel of a small but still deadly gun. Our hero then notices something else. He's seen this guy before. Smirnoff? "Is that you?" I'm like, "Why, yes, it is, Garland." I'm like, "Well, I thought you were dead. That building did blow up with you still in it, right?" I'm like, "You are the only one who got a helicopter right out of there." "Oh, so that's how it was done." Okay. Turns out these guys have history together. That's nice. I really hope it's in a better stories than this one. Anyway, our villain tells us our hero not to try anything funny, or he'll use his gun. Then he orders our hero and our nurse, all his henchmen, pull the girl on the gurney that was just rolled into the room. They have no choice but to obey. But our hero does manage to get the tiny homing device pill into the girl's mouth while no one is looking. And I will see you now. Yeah, let's go. Smirnoff then tells our hero and the nurse So they'll all go out, gonna walk out the door like it's business as usual, or else. And that's what they all do. I'll see you next time. We continue talking about blessed, no, Haley, James Haley Chase.